Hello, everyone. Hello. Reminds me of that Neil Diamond song. Hello, my friend. Hello. I don't know the rest of the lyrics. Ugh. Waiting for some people to get in. Waiting for people to get in. Let's see. No mask taken off. Hello, whoever just stopped in here. Hello, hope you're doing well. I don't see anything in the chat yet, but it looks like it's just you and me for the time being. So whoever you are, how are you? Not a rhetorical question. I really want to know how you are. Tell me in the chat how you're doing. What's going on? Hopefully I'll get some folks in here. I actually copied the link to the stream and put it in my Discord server, so maybe that'll get me some people from the Discord server. That would be nice. That would be very nice. Hello, up to 2 concurrent viewers. Wow, really high rolling now. How are both of you doing? Let me know in the chat what's going on. I would love to know what is going on in your life. That would be cool. Gonna wait for a couple more people to hop in before talking about anything interesting or important. I'll just say for the time being that it has been a rough week. I mean, nobody's been hurt, nobody's died, but there's been a lot going wrong. A lot of things going wrong with stuff that I own. Expensive things. I've had to deal with some very, very expensive repairs, replacements, so on and so forth. But before I get into the specifics, I just, want to wait for some more people. Yusra Hesham, sorry, I know I probably pronounced that incorrectly, says, "It seems like I used to watch your videos while I was in high school. Now I am a medical student." Awesome, man. Congratulations on getting into medical school. Very cool. Is there a particular sort of branch of medicine that you're looking to specialize in, or what kind of doctor are you trying to become? That was one sort of question that I would get from my mom. Have you ever considered going to medical school and becoming a doctor? And it's like, yeah, the thought had occurred to me, but yeah, I don't know if I'd make a good doctor. I mean, I'm sure I could do anything well that I set my mind to. Like, I'm confident in my ability to work hard and gain proficiency at just about anything. I just don't know if I'd be happy. I don't think I'd be very happy working as a doctor. But that's just me, and I would never discourage anyone from wanting to become a doctor, because we need doctors. We need good doctors. So good on you for getting into the medical field. I hope you have a good time, have an easy time getting through it and crush all your exams and, get a great residency and, and just have a long, fruitful, successful career. I hope that for you. Got a whopping 4 people in here. Oh, somebody just smashed the like button. Whoever that was, thank you so much. Oh, we got a second one. Oh my goodness, 2 likes and 4 concurrent viewers. Wow, I am really stacking up the numbers now, aren't I? So, yeah, how are you guys doing? Those of you who are new arrivals in the stream, how are you doing? I would love to know. Love to know how you're doing. Probably better than I'm doing. Probably better than I'm doing. I have had quite a week of putting out fires, so to speak. Not literally, but metaphorically. Putting out fires, solving really, really big problems, really, really expensive problems. But like I said, I just wanted to wait, see if a couple of more people get in, then I'll start talking about some of the big things that happened this week. Well, you helped me through first year. I don't think I understand that sentence. I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume that English is not your first language. Are you asking me if I will help you through your first year, or are you telling me that I have helped you through your first year? In either case, yeah, I'm happy to, if you would like some help with something, I would like to help you to the degree that I can. And if it's the second one, if I have helped you throughout your first year, then thank you for letting me know. It's very good to know that some of the stuff I do helps people. It's important to me. You did help me through my first year. Oh, okay, great, awesome, man. I'm glad to hear it. I'm really glad to hear that my content was at least somewhat helpful. Thank you for sharing that with me. Just warms the old heart to know that the stuff that I'm doing helps people. Because I'll be honest, can I just be honest with you guys? I know I just recently started uploading again, and so I understand I have to manage my expectations, but my video that I uploaded on lattice energy and the Born-Haber cycle that I personally thought was good didn't get much views. It got like just over 200 views. And it's the same story with my my video on electronegativity. Those two videos were uploaded fairly recently, but yet they're not getting any views, or they're not getting many views, I should say. And I thought they were both pretty good. I kept them fairly short, so as the intention of keeping them short was to hopefully not have the audience or the viewer tune out and just leave the video, because sometimes if you look at a thumbnail and you see that, oh man, this video is like 14, 15, 17 minutes long, like I don't want to watch that, and so people won't even click on it. So I've been trying to keep the videos nice and short and concise. So that's one area in which I'm trying to improve. Another area in which I'm trying to improve, somebody pointed out a few months ago that sometimes when I do an educational video, I won't actually get to the content of the lesson until sometimes over a minute into the video. So I've been really trying to I've been really conscious of that. I've been trying to be very quick and get to the point as soon as hopefully as soon as the video starts, or only very not, I just want it not to take a long time after the video starts before I actually start talking about the the content of the lesson. So but yeah, so where I was going with that was, whenever I read comments like, hey, thanks, you helped me, and blah blah blah, all of those are really really important to me, because they kind of help me stay motivated to keep going, even though I'm not getting hardly any views. Just like some of the videos. Oh, cool, man, thanks. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know, but I uploaded a video recently showing you guys the test run that I did for the colorful chemical reaction that was on display as the unity ceremony in my wedding. So this was back in 2015. So I found a video that I took of myself testing out this colorful chemical reaction. And so I thought I'd upload it to YouTube and put a voiceover of me sort of narrating the viewer through it. And I thought that video would do well. I think it was 3 days ago, and it's only 75 views or something like that. So yeah, a little disappointing. You work hard and then you don't see the views, and it's just that's why those supportive comments are so important, because they kind of keep me motivated even though I'm not getting many views. Someone says, how can you know if your dream is really yours or if it's just a result of your surroundings? I don't think I understand that question. What do you mean by dream? Do you mean like the actual dreams that you have at night when you're sleeping? Or by dream, do you mean like, you know, your dream house, your dream job, your dream car, like, you know, like some goal that you're aspiring to? I'm not sure what definition of dream you're talking about. Ibrahim Ifkar says, oh no, the stream has already started. Yeah, I started a little early today. I took the day off of work today. I actually took yesterday off work too. I am leaving town tonight. So I wanted to like get the stream, you know, started and finished a little earlier so I have time to sort of pack. I'm traveling down to Florida. I live in South Carolina, so I'll be driving. It's about probably maybe like 6 or 7 hours, including all the stops that we have to take, you know, for gas or, you know, to stretch our legs or to eat some food or something like that. So probably closer to 6 hours driving down to North Florida. Like our destination in Florida tonight is not far from the Florida-Georgia state line, so it's like pretty north up there in Florida. So that's what we'll be doing tonight. And the reason why we're driving overnight is because there's a COVID-19 checkpoint at the Florida-Georgia state line. They stop every car driving into Florida from Georgia and ask what state they're coming from. And those checkpoints tend to back the traffic up pretty far, like miles and miles and miles of stop and go traffic. And so by driving in the middle of the night, you know, the checkpoints are much easier to cross. So that's why we're driving overnight tonight. Spend some time with some family. It's going to be fun. I am excited. Let's see. Yash says, hi, Ben. Hello, Yash. How are you? Yash, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I hope I'm doing it right. Hello. All right, so we got 7 people in here. Those are actually pretty good numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and start. Please do some IITJEE chemistry. This will get big Indian crowd to your channel. Okay, yeah, I'll definitely look into that. Thank you for suggesting that. I appreciate it. So, oh man, I have to tell you guys, I have to get some stuff off my chest. I have to tell you about the week that I have had. So I'm trying to remember the whole timeline here. I think it was Monday. This guy says COVID testing has been going well. I haven't really been following it. I don't follow it. I just live my life. I don't concern myself with that kind of stuff. But anyway, so on Monday, when I get home from work, my wife is working on a webinar. She's giving a lesson, like doing a webinar for her business. And she's actually charging people for her webinars. So she's kind of smart about it, whereas I just give everything out for free. Marshmallow Fluff, I do see you. If you have a question or a comment, I will certainly respond to it, but I do see you. So anyway, Monday I get home from work and I decide that I'm going to take my daughter to the park so that we can sort of leave the house and, you know, give my wife the space and the peace and the quiet that she needs to finish out her webinar. So I hop into our van. We have a van, and you know, my daughter's back there, and I back out of my driveway. Right, I back out of my driveway, and then I shift my car from reverse into drive to go forward, and then I start to hit the gas and the car isn't going forward. Instead, it's going back. And so I was like, okay, that's weird. So, you know, my default method of solving problems with equipment is to turn the equipment off and then back on again. So I put the car in park and I turned the car off and then I tried to start it again and the car wasn't starting. Nothing, no clicking, no turnover, nothing. The car was not starting. No engine. And so I try to get out, you know, I take my foot off the brake to get out and the car starts rolling even though the shifter is positioned in park. So if you're in park, it shouldn't be moving, but it was still moving. So basically what was happening was the car was stuck in neutral. And regardless of where you position the shifter, it just wasn't getting out of neutral. So I have, you know, and I'm like basically blocking the road. And I have my daughter in the back seat, and I have this van that isn't starting, that I can't stop unless my foot's on the brake. Otherwise, it'll just roll until it reaches a level surface. So, luckily there happens to be this girl riding by on a bike, and I ask her, like, hey, do you know any guys that could help me like push this car back into my driveway? And she's like, yeah, let me go get my dad. And then her dad shows up, and then we push the car, off the road. And then I have to call my insurance company and get a tow truck. They towed it to the Toyota dealership. It's a Toyota Sienna. It's that kind of van, 2008 Toyota Sienna. So it's a pretty old car. So I had to get it towed, and I had to take the infant car seat out of it and put it in my car. I drive what you're seeing right now. This current car that I'm in right now is a Toyota Corolla, 2012 Toyota Corolla. So it's kind of old too. But so I had some car trouble. So for the next couple of days, the car was in the shop. I got the car back though. Yesterday I got the car back. It was $700, just a little bit over $700 to fix it. What was wrong was there was a shifter cable. Guy says, "I'm sorry if I was rude." No, you weren't rude. I didn't take it that way. You're not rude. You're good. No worries. So anyway, it was the shifter cable assembly that had to be replaced, and it took a couple of days because they had to order the part and everything, and $700. Honestly, like $700 for car trouble is not the worst thing in the world. So I was kind of counting my blessings that it was only $700 and not more. And then literally the next day, I noticed that in my house we're having air conditioner problems. The air conditioner is running, but it's not cooling. It's not cooling. I mean, it's cooling, but it's not cooling all the way to its set point. So in other words, if I have it set to 74 degrees Fahrenheit, it's stuck at like 78, 77 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's not getting any cooler than that, despite the fact that it is blowing out cold air, or cool air, I should say. And so I get somebody out, the next day to check it out, and long story short is I have to get both the inside air conditioner unit and the outside air conditioner unit replaced. Back in November of 2019, I got a new outside unit and I had some duct work done. I paid $3,200 for that. And now, just a few months later, July of 2020, less than a year later, November 2019 to July of 2020, was that like 10 months or something? I have to pay $7,000 to get a new inside and outside AC unit installed in my house. So I pay $700 for this car repair, and then I pay $7,000 for a new air conditioner. So, it's like, oh man, like, stop the bleeding. Like, this is brutal. Oh, life just is crazy. All right, so let's see. I need to read some comments. Kai says, yikes, $700 for a shifter cable. That's like $150 to $200 easy on the West Coast. Yeah, I think they did some other stuff too. I don't know if it was just the shifter cable, but it doesn't matter. I mean, they kind of had me bent over a barrel because I don't know how to do it, and I'm not going to learn how to do it because I just don't have the time for that. But yeah, I mean, that's what we paid, $700, some labor too. And then, yeah, a guy says 7,000, Jesus. Yeah, $7,000 to get a new inside unit and outside unit installed. So I'm pretty upset because, like what happened was, when the guy came and installed a new outside unit for us in November, the unit that he put in was too small for my house. So I'm not an expert in HVAC, technical jargon or mumbo jumbo or anything like that. But from my understanding, basically the way that they explained it to me is that, they have these different sizes of these outdoor AC units that are measured in a unit called tonnage, like a 2-ton or 2.5-ton AC unit. The unit that is currently in my backyard is a 2-ton AC unit, right? And each size of AC unit can carry a heat load of within a certain interval. And the maximum heat load that a 2-ton outdoor AC unit can handle is 24,000 BTUs, British thermal units, right? And so this guy came in, this other guy that I hired to diagnose it, he came in and he did a heat load calculation. So he calculated it based on the square footage of my house, the height of the ceilings, the type of windows, the size of the windows, the type of insulation. He used this big formula to calculate the heat load associated with my house. And the number that he got was between 28,000 and 29,000 BTUs, which is much larger than 24,000 BTUs, the maximum heat load that can be handled by a 2-ton AC unit. So the right size for my house is 2.5 ton. The size that I just had installed in November was 2 ton. So I have the wrong size. So that's why I thought I was going to get away with just having the inside unit replaced. But no, I have to replace both units for $7,000. So yeah, that's a big blow, you know. Oh, okay. So Ibrahim says, how does that happen? Ha ha ha. Yeah, I'm glad you're finding humor in it, because I don't think it's that funny. But I know you probably don't mean anything by that. But I think what happened was, you know, the previous unit was installed wrong. And so, you know, the guy who replaced it just kind of replaced what was already there instead of, because he didn't actually perform the heat load calculation. Kai says, but 7K is too much, and you pretty much have no option but to replace it because it's summer. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Kai says, can you just DIY just like the shower renovation and work on the AC? No, I cannot do that. I cannot do that because it's just a much more complicated DIY job. HVAC work is it's very technical. And, you know, it's funny because we think of like guys who work in the trades, you know, plumbers and roofers and electricians and stuff as like, you know, they're kind of like the blue collar, like they're less intelligent. But it's like, no, like many of them are very technically skilled, especially like the master plumbers and stuff, like the seasoned pros that have been working in the trade for decades. Those people are extremely intelligent, and they have a good, you know, solid understanding of what they're doing. And no, this is a problem. I mean, you have to understand, like, my wife is almost in the 3rd trimester of pregnancy. My daughter is almost 2. Like, we don't have time for me to figure out how to do this, you know? And also, I don't have a lot of friends around here. I just moved here less than a year ago. I don't have like a lot of dudes that can help me like lift things and work on stuff. So, you know, yeah, this isn't something I can do on my own. You know, every homeowner has to pick his or her battles when it comes to what they're going to do themselves versus what they're going to hire somebody to do. And HVAC is just not something that I'm willing to take on. Also, it's dangerous. It's very dangerous to work on like HVAC stuff and without knowing what you're doing, because a lot of the refrigerants that they use are highly flammable. You know, you have to use like a torch to solder lines and stuff like that around things that are flammable. You know, you have to do a lot of electrical wiring, which can be very dangerous. So yeah, I mean, it's just not something that I'm willing to take on, because it would take me too long to figure it out and learn it. You know, I would basically have to like teach myself, you know, an entire, like, you know, 2 years or however long HVAC school lasts. I would have to teach myself all of that, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. It's worth it just to throw some money at the problem and get it fixed. That's how I choose to think about it. Kai says, I hear the EPA can actually sue you if you do your HVAC wrong. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, it's important to make sure that whatever repairs or renovations you do on your home are, you know, in compliance with local codes and things like that. Especially when you go to sell the house. Very important. Isn't the refrigerant bad for the ozone layer? Maybe, but it's a closed circular system. The refrigerant doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't evaporate off. It just stays in the system and cycles through. It's not like something that you have to like pour new refrigerant into it every so often. Like it doesn't get used up. It just continues to cycle through, unless it leaks, which is a malfunction. You know, it's not supposed to leak. They're not designed to leak. I know the refrigerants that they use now are much more environmentally friendly than what they used to use. They used to use Freon. They no longer do. Now they use other things. So, but yeah, yep, that's what's going on. So I had to pay 25% down. So I wrote a check for about $1,700. And then on Tuesday, that's when they're going to actually perform the installation this coming Tuesday. I'll write another check for about $5,300 for a total of $7,000. What are you going to do? Did you try exploring other options like Craigslist for the HVAC? No, and I don't want to. I don't want to hire another HVAC guy from, you know, because the previous guy that we hired to do our ductwork and to install what would eventually, we would eventually find out is the wrong size unit. He was actually recommended from our realtor, who's a nice lady. Like, I'm not trying to throw her under the bus, you know, I mean, she recommended the guy, and, you know, how could she have known that he was going to get the unit size wrong? Maybe he thought that, you know, he was just trying to save us some money by replacing the outside unit only, and that, you know, maybe he thought we couldn't afford to replace both units, and he just wanted to save us the money, although it ended up costing more money in the long run. So, fun fact, South Carolina is south of North Carolina. Very true. That is a true statement. But no, I mean, these people that Kai says, can you get a refund from him? Yeah, I'm gonna call him. And I'm gonna be, you know, polite. I'm gonna be civil. I'm not gonna be angry or hostile or anything like that. I already called my realtor and explained what happened, and she, you know, she's like, oh no, that's terrible. I'm so sorry, and blah blah blah. You know, I called her so that I could get his phone number. So now that I have his phone number, how funny it would be if I just called him up like live on the stream. Oh man. Oh, that would be so... I'm not going to do it. But it would be funny if I just shared that phone call with you guys. Josh says, do that, please. No, I can't. I can't. And the reason why I can't is because, like, if I put myself in his position, right, and somebody calls me and I don't know that I'm being recorded, or I don't know that our conversation is being streamed on a live, you know, feed or a live website, I would be pretty upset about that. And so, you know, it's a basic empathy exercise, putting yourself in the other person's shoes. Even though he did mess up, you know, and look, we all make mistakes, okay? And by all accounts, the guy was very nice. I didn't actually meet him. He did his work when my wife was home and when I was at work. So by all accounts, he's a nice gentleman. I don't think he's a jerk or anything like that. There's no evidence that supports the idea that he's a jerk. So I'm sure he'll be polite on the phone. At the very least, I think what he might be able to do, hopefully, is to buy back his unit. You know, the unit that he installed that we have no use for, you know, if he could buy that back, that would be great, because, you know, he would have it again, so he would be able to install it somewhere else, hopefully correctly, hopefully in a house that actually, you know, is suitable for it. And also, you know, the new company that we're hiring to install the new AC unit, you know, they cover the removal and disposal of our old units. So like taking that junk and hauling it off is covered in the price that we're paying. But they did tell us that, hey, look, if you want us to leave this unit out, you know, if this previous guy might buy it, then, you know, just say the word and we'll do that. So I'm going to call him, and hopefully, you know, he will offer something, you know, to try to make it right. I would really appreciate it. But yeah, I don't I just don't, I don't like to be rude to people, you know. I don't like to be angry. I don't like to, because in my experience that kind of stuff doesn't accomplish anything. I mean, at least in the beginning, like if someone isn't responding to any other like behavior, and you know, being angry or raising my voice is the only thing that will get anything done, then I sort of have no choice. But you know, I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt and just be nice. I think that's a better approach. I think that approach is more likely to be successful than anything else. So I definitely am not going to approach it with any kind of hostility. Guy says, are you driving right now, or are you just sitting in the car? I'm just sitting in the car. I just got my hair cut, and I had to wear a mask during the haircut. Ridiculous, but it is what it is, right? It's the rule. You gotta follow the rule. Wear a mask. But anyway, yeah, I just got my hair cut, and then I'm about to head home in a little bit. So got some chores to do. Got to clean the house up. Got to pack. Got to get ready to hit the road, drive out to Florida, and gonna spend some time with my parents. And I think my brothers are gonna come to town too. I think they're gonna come to my parents' house, so we'll all kind of be together. Maybe we'll swim in their pool, or I don't know. But I think we're gonna have a good time. So we got our car back just in time, which is good, because if I were to have myself, my wife, my daughter, and my dog in this Corolla driving hundreds of miles from South Carolina to Florida, that wouldn't be very comfortable. So yeah. Yep, we're going on a road trip. Kai asks, road trip? Yes, we're going on a road trip. We're heading down to Florida. It's where my parents live. It's where everybody in our family lives, but we're going to my parents' house. We're gonna, you know, have a good time, eat some good food, enjoy each other's company, maybe swim in the pool. I don't know, whatever they want to do. You know, gonna exchange horror stories about, you know, my dad. I was on the phone with him last night telling him about the whole AC thing, and he's like, oh yeah, wait till you hear about the washing machine story. So we're going to exchange some horror stories. So Marshmallow Fluff says, stay safe. Yep, I certainly intend to. You know, the car is safe. And Florida is currently 120C right now. No, it's not. I mean, are you joking? Are you being hyperbolous? Because it's not hotter than boiling water in Florida. I mean, if anything, like it might be like 105 at the highest. Like that's probably, you know, it's usually like in the summertime, it's usually like in the 90s in Florida. Sometimes it gets above 100, but yeah, it'll never, and that's Fahrenheit, which, so 100 Fahrenheit is, trying to think how many degrees Celsius 100 Fahrenheit is, but yeah, 100 Celsius is much hotter than 100 Fahrenheit. Hyperbole. Oh, okay. Yeah. Florida is very hot, but you know, I'm a Floridian. You know, I'm a native Floridian, so I'm used to it, man. I've lived in that stuff my whole life. So, and South Carolina is not much cooler in the summertime. In the wintertime, South Carolina it's much colder than Florida, but in the summertime, South Carolina can be pretty hot too. So. Yusra Hasham says, you help me understand complicated stuff. I just want to say thank you before I leave the live. Thanks, man. Yeah, you're very, very, very welcome. I'm so glad I was able to help. I really appreciate your kind words. And I don't know, maybe some people joined the stream recently. I was telling him how important those kind words really are to me, because, you know, lately I've been uploading more. I've been doing more streams and stuff like that. But I haven't really seen much views, you know, like my Lattice Energy and Bornhopper Cycle video is just over 200 views, which it's not a lot. It's not doing very well. My electronegativity video, same thing, just a couple hundred views. It's not doing very well. So when I don't get like a whole lot of views, you know, like when I do see those like comments and that really, really nice, kind feedback, it just helps to motivate me to keep me going. I really, really want to carve out some time to shoot and edit my next educational video. Like I said in my last stream, I have the script written and everything, but you know, I've been so busy around the house. So it says, yes, Ben, I just want to say this to you. Also, your many videos helped me establish my fundamentals. Cool, man. Cool. Very cool. Kai says, LMAO, I've been to Florida once, and it gets a bad rep for the tiny minority that does dumb shit. Yeah. I mean, the whole Florida man thing, you know, it's funny, but, you know, I just laugh at it, you know. I mean, you know, people make judgments about things, and, you know, whatever, you know. I don't care. I don't get offended when people talk about Florida man stuff, but I don't know. I guess I just have a thick skin, but it is funny though, you know. It is pretty funny. Some of the Florida man stories that you hear about are funny. And also, like, Florida's a pretty big state, and it's pretty diverse, you know. Like, the difference between where I grew up in North Florida versus where I lived for like the last decade of my life in Central Florida is huge. I mean, it's almost like they shouldn't even be the same state. You know, I grew up in a very, very small town in North Florida with like 2 traffic lights. And then for the last 10 years, I lived in Orlando, and it's just like night and day. Like, they're 2 completely different places. So Marshmallow Fluff says, I will make sure I tell everyone about how cool and nice you are. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, send, you know, anybody who needs help with chemistry or anything like that, just send them my way. You know, give links, you know. And, I also have social media accounts. I got Facebook, I got Twitter, I got Instagram. Twitter and Instagram don't really have much on there. Facebook doesn't really have much on there either. I don't have many followers in any of those, so I need as much love as I can to build up followings on those social media platforms. They are in their infancy, but I've been trying to contribute to them as much as possible. But yeah, you're extremely welcome. I'm so glad I was able to help. Yash says, okay, Ben, bye. It's 1 a.m. here. Got to go study. Thanks. All right, man. Good luck. Good luck studying, and, you know, make sure you get some rest too. The rest is very important. Kai says, have you ever thought of ever doing videos to prep students for the MCAT? Yeah, I have thought about that. Somebody actually left a comment on one of my videos asking me that same question, and I said, no, I haven't really thought about that, but that's a great idea. So now that he commented that, I have thought about it. So I know there's a channel, another science YouTuber, her name is Leia Forsai, and she does a lot of that. She does a lot of like MCAT prep stuff. You may have heard of her. I actually reached out to her seeing if she wanted to collab, and I heard back. You know, I sent her an Instagram DM, and you know, she responded to that DM telling me to email her, and then I emailed her, and I just haven't heard back from her. But I was hoping to collaborate with her because I like the work that she does. But if she doesn't want to collaborate with me, then I can't force it. So I do have some other exciting collaborations on the way, though. I'm not going to give out any details, but I got some exciting stuff upcoming that I'm pretty excited about. So, good stuff. Kai says, Leia Forsai and Chad's Prep are really good for Orgo. I've never heard of Chad's Prep before. Is that another MCAT thing? There's a lot of stuff that, like, really, really talented, you know, people out there that I just never heard of. So that might be a cool thing to do. Like, you know how, like, on the community tab of a YouTube channel page, you know, you can see like posts, and sometimes like the YouTuber will put out a poll, you know, like a POLL, like that kind of poll, like a bunch of different things that you can choose from. And that might be a good poll to put out, is like, what other chemistry YouTubers do you follow? Like, what's your favorite, you know, chemistry YouTuber outside of me, or like, who do you think is better, or like, who do you follow more? Like, you know, who is your favorite chemistry YouTuber other than me? Because I'm sure I'm probably not the favorite among every single viewer of mine, which is fine. I mean, yeah, some people do this better than I do. Some people do it full time. Some people do it more consistently than I do. Some people have the time to do it, and they're not encumbered by their love of family like I am. So, new hairstyle. Not really. It's the same hairstyle I've had for a very, very long time, many years. I just happened to get it cut. So new haircut, yes, but new hairstyle, no. Nope. Like to keep it short. It's easy to style because you don't have to style it. Easy to clean, you know, it's just, there's no bedhead. You just wake up and you're good to go. So it's kind of like weird though, because I just paid $19 for a haircut. It's like I paid $19 for something that like my wife could have done easily. So I think I might hop on Amazon at some point before my next haircut and just get a really nice set of like hair clippers for her to just cut my hair, because I feel like I get freaking robbed every time I go get a haircut around here. Are you a nerd or semi-nerd? I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that. I'm a nerd, I suppose. I mean, you know, in school I got good grades and all that stuff, and good grades, and you know, but I actually got along with quite a bit of people too. Like I got invited to parties and shit when I was in high school. So I did good grades, but I wasn't like super like antisocial or like hard to get along with or anything like that. I kind of bridged the gap between the nerds and the jocks. Kai says, have you ever thought of doing a sequel to the sulfur hexafluoride prank? Yes, I have. I have thought about that many, many, many times. I just haven't quite like taken the plunge and committed to it. And you know, the thing is that I guess maybe this is just an aspect of my personality, is that sometimes I have a hard time asking people for help. And that is definitely something where I'm going to need somebody to help me, like film it and everything. So I don't know. I'm like this. I don't know. I just have a hard time asking people for help. Not like for trivial things. Like I'm perfectly okay, you know, if I'm at the Home Depot, like asking, hey, you know, what aisle can I find a pipe wrench on? You know, like I'm okay asking people for like directions and things for like something small. But when it comes to like, you know, I need your help. You need to sit in this, you know, I need you to sit in a car with me, you know, for hours holding a camera and filming me as I'm doing this silly prank. That is kind of a big ask. And I really have a hard time like making the big ask with people. And it's something that I, you know, admittedly need to work on, you know, being more comfortable asking other people for help. So, but yes, to answer your question, I've absolutely thought of doing the sulfur hexafluoride part 2. Absolutely. It'll happen. It'll definitely happen at some point. I just don't know, man. Okay, somebody says, what if your car suddenly starts moving on its own? Then I would hit the brake to stop it. And I would also lift the emergency brake to make sure that it stays put. That's what I would do. And if the pedal was stuck, if like the gas pedal was stuck and I couldn't get it like unstuck, if the pedal was just down on the floor and I couldn't get it to move up, then what I would do is I would shift it into neutral. And it would make a lot of noise, but at least I wouldn't keep going forward really fast. Did you ever take physics in college or have ever had any interest in it? I have kind of a dicey history with physics because I never took it in high school, and the first time I ever took it was in college, and I had to take physics for scientists and engineers, which was, it had a lot of calculus in it that I had not yet taken, so the timing was kind of not so good, and I just didn't have, I did not have a very enjoyable experience with physics in college. I think physics is cool, for sure. There's a lot of like physics demonstrations that I think are really cool. There's a lot of physics-based toys that I think are really cool, like the little Newton's cradle, the little thing with the ball bearings that just tuck back and forth. You know, that is one thing. Another thing that you should check out, this is really cool. They're called MOVA globes, M-O-V-A, MOVA globe. If you hop on YouTube and you look up MOVA globe, it's this really, really sleek, like nice looking globe, you know, and it's like encased in this like plexiglass or plastic or something like that, and it'll spin and it'll continue to spin without any batteries, but it'll use the ambient light. So you can be like inside, not even next to a window during the daytime, and just the ambient light in the room is enough to get this globe to spin. And they have globes that look like Earth. They have globes that look like, I think, every planet. They have one that looks like the moon. They have one that looks like Mars, one that looks like Jupiter. MOVA globe, M-O-V-A. They are expensive, but they are just so good looking. They're amazing. They have like these super sensitive low-level photovoltaic cells that somehow make the globe spin around. So that's like another example of something cool with physics. So yeah, I like physics. I like to admire physics, but in terms of like actually like applying physics or understanding physics, I'm not super good at it. I never really had a good, like teacher for physics. Like I never had somebody like really kind of teach me, show me how to do things like from the ground up with physics. So, excuse me. But anyway, I think I'm going to get going. Okay, I'll answer this question. What are your favorite class in college besides chemistry? There's a couple of classes that I liked. I liked philosophy class that I took, although that class could have been like so much better, Although I still kind of enjoyed it, philosophy. I took an anthropology class that I really liked because the professor was just hilarious. He was just a really funny guy. And, the stuff that he taught was interesting too, anthropology. I liked differential equations. Differential equations was a good class because it sort of like, it made a lot of stuff click in my mind as far as like understanding like chemistry and like, certain things that are governed by differential equations. There's a lot of like, if you ever study physical chemistry, you'll see there's a lot of like advanced mathematics in it. And I really wish I would have taken differential equations before I would have taken physical chemistry, because then I would have had a much better chance of understanding all of it. But the timing wasn't really good. I took physical chemistry before differential equations, so it's shitty timing. But anyway, all right. So drawing ? I don't know what that means. Like, are you asking if I like to draw? Kai asks, last question, will you ever own a Tesla EV? I thought about, maybe saving up for one, but I don't know. Maybe. I haven't ruled it out. They're expensive. Let me just say this. I will never borrow money to buy a car ever again. So however much car I can afford with the cash that I have in the bank, that's how much car I'm getting. So if the price goes like way down and becomes much more affordable, and there's like more, the battery life is improved and there's like more charging stations all around and, blah, 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 blah. Then maybe I would consider. I took a ride in one. I actually drove it. My wife's uncle has one. He has a Tesla Model 3, I think is what it's called. And it was cool. It was cool. But it definitely takes some getting used to, for sure. Like it's just so different from a normal car with an internal combustion engine. I think they're amazing. They're amazing technology. Definitely all for Tesla Motors. I think they're a great company, but yeah. Guy says, what if your car start flying on its own? I don't know how to answer that question. I mean, that sounds kind of silly. What is the point of this video? Is this like class? No, this is just a chit chat. Just see how you're doing. Did you think Elon Musk oversells his idea? Which idea are you talking about? What idea did Elon Musk potentially oversell? I don't get it. It's funny. I was actually talking about Elon Musk to somebody that I work with the other day, and this coworker of mine was like, "Oh, well, Elon Musk, people like give him credit like he's some kind of science genius, but he actually is just a business guy, and he's not really that technically skilled." It's like, well, first of all, he's the lead designer for SpaceX, and secondly, he does have a physics background before he earned an MBA, so he's much more like technically skilled with his company than like Steve Jobs was with his. So I would definitely have like much more technical respect for Elon Musk than I would for like Steve Jobs. You ever tried starting a business like selling clothes or stuff? Not really. No. I mean, I guess in a way, this channel is kind of like a business. I earn some ad revenue from it, but really it's just a hobby. Just a hobby that I can make a couple of bucks off of. But yeah. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna get going. Looks like people are leaving, so I'm gonna head out too. Much love to everybody. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. And I will upload the next video as soon as I can. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.